Luo Yang finally made a choice and decided to acquire a comprehensive business payment license worth 3 billion yuan. Either do nothing or do your best. This is Luo Yang's life rule. Other internet companies may have to consider retaining a certain amount of cash flow to ensure the company's normal operations, but this is not a problem for Beichan Technology. Since the release of the Beichan system, Beichan Technology has ended the cash burning stage and officially started to make profits, and the profit growth rate is extremely terrifying. It only takes 1 month for Beichan Technology to earn 3 billion acquisition funds. After finalizing the acquisition, Linya began to prepare for the acquisition. In order to prevent other companies from interfering and deliberately raising the price, the acquisition and payment license was completely carried out in secret. After getting off work, Luo Yang returned to his residence after having dinner in the restaurant of the Science and Technology Park. The residence is very close to Shanghai Science and Technology Park, less than 10 minutes walk away. There are high-rise buildings with more than 20 floors in the community. Luo Yang rents a 3-bedroom apartment with fine decoration, located on the 10th floor. After graduation, he rented this place. Because Beichan Technology had been burning money before, he had no plans to buy a house. After all, the housing prices in Shanghai are so terrible. Luo Yang invested most of his wealth in Beichan Technology, and he did not have much money except for rent. At this moment, the company has just started to make a profit, and it has to prepare to acquire a payment license. If it wants to rely on dividends to buy a house, it will have to be postponed. Cool. After putting on his pajamas and grabbing a can of beer from the refrigerator, Luo Yang lay on the large sofa and started brushing his scarf. The hot searches for scarf these days have been dominated by Beichan Technology, and Luo Yang is also happy to read the comments and understand the feedback of external users on the Beichan system. I have been using the Beichan system for a week and have not found any problems so far. All major games can be opened normally. I have uninstalled the Microsoft system ! This is from a certain game user. I run a company and purchased several sets of professional versions for my employees to try out for a few days. The employees said they felt very good, and many of the professional functions are no worse than the professional versions of the Win system. But in terms of cloud business, Beichan Technology only provides AS for the cloud backup business. Other services such as cloud computing and cloud servers have not yet been launched. After all, Beichan Technology has just started. Even if it wants to compete with Microsoft, it is impossible to launch so many projects at once, right? We have to give Beichan Technology time to develop. Users of the flagship version said that the overall experience is excellent and the overall performance is much stronger than that of the regular version. The money is well spent. Luo Yang takes note of all these comments. Among them, the cloud computing business must be launched, and together with mobile payment, it will be the company's second stage strategic planning direction. Similar to the strategic consideration of acquiring a payment license, Beichan Technology is inevitable to establish its own large-scale data center, which is also the basis for the layout of cloud computing. The cloud storage business currently provided by Beichan Technology is to rent Huawei cloud servers. Once it has its own cloud computing department, Beichan Technology will no longer need to store data on Huawei servers. However, whether it is purchasing servers or data center site selection, planning, construction, and maintenance, a large amount of money and time are required, as well as the recruitment of relevant technical talents. In Luo Yang's plan, direct acquisition of existing cloud computing companies is the most suitable choice, which can greatly shorten the time to deploy cloud business. At present, the company's first month's profit has been determined to be used to acquire payment licenses, and the development of cloud business will not be carried out until at least the second month. Unless Beichan Technology starts its A-round financing now, it can only develop step by step. But obviously, Luo Yang would only dilute his equity for this reason, unless he was crazy. After brushing his scarf, Luo Yang called home. "Hey Mom, is everything okay at home?" "You do not have to worry at home. Your dad and I both watched the evening news. Your dad was very happy and drank a lot that night. My son is really good." Luomu sounded happy. Luo Yang's parents are both university teachers, and they usually control Luo Yang very easily. Luo's father and Luo's mother have long been accustomed to their son's precocious maturity. In addition, Luo Yang became famous at a young age, and they are very satisfied with his achievements in all aspects. That's good. Now, the company has started to make a profit. When the company pays dividends in a while, I will buy 2 big houses in Shanghai and bring you here to live there. Your company has just started to develop, so do not waste money. Luo Yuyu warned her earnestly. Your father and I are used to living in the work unit, so there is no need to change to a bigger house. If you really want to make your mother happy, then hurry up and let her have a grandson. Ahem, why are you urging me again? I am only 22 this year. We should wait a few years to have grandchildren. What's wrong with 22? My old sisters have already given birth to their grandsons, and they are complaining in front of me all day long. If you do not hurry up and seize the time, how will I lose face in front of my old sisters? Luo Yang was sweating. Every time he called since graduation, Luo Yang's mother began to make arrangements to find a wife for him. She looked forward to having a grandson all day long, which made Luo Yang Alexander. Knowing that once his mother brought up this topic, she would be unable to finish it in 3 days and 3 nights. Luo Yang quickly gave a few more instructions, such as not to go abroad in the future, and then hung up the phone. The reason why I specially told my parents this is naturally because of the lessons learned from Warwick Company. Because of this incident, Luo Yang has become more vigilant about protecting his family. Fortunately, his parents are enlightened people and understand this. After developing the Bayesian system, Luo Yang completely gave up his plan to go abroad. After all, he had touched the cake of Microsoft Corporation and also helped Longguo break through the blockade of the United States. Due to various factors, I do not know how many people abroad wanted him to disappear on the spot. That is to say, it was in Dragon Kingdom that Luo Yang could rest assured of his own safety. With experience in participating in national-level projects in his previous life, Luo Yang knew very well how strong Dragon Kingdom was in protecting top talents. At present, Luo Yang is the main developer of the Bayesian system. Whether it is Luo language, self-developed system kernel, or simulator algorithm, he is the core figure. Although nothing can be seen on the surface, Luo Yang can guess that under his own, even around his parents, Longguo has secretly strengthened the security. Of course, if Luo Yang wanted to, he could directly hack into some key special servers to investigate, but this was not necessary for him. He deliberately showed his potential as a top white hat during his junior year, just to tell everyone not to underestimate him. It is impossible for Longguo not to know this. Some people are happy, and some are worried. While Bayesian system is frantically conquering cities and making a lot of money, some people are going crazy. Microsoft Corporation, Longguo headquarters. The conference room was already filled with smoke. Senior executive John's eyes were red and bloodshot, and the ashtray on the table was filled with cigarette butts. Fuck it. This is the first time I have cursed him angrily. This week, he basically did not take a few breaks and stayed in the technical department waiting for a certain result. As early as after the Bayesian Technology Conference, Microsoft's technical team immediately downloaded 3 versions of the Bayesian operating system and quickly tested them. However, comprehensive data from all aspects show that Bayesian systems are excellent and have fully reached the standards for commercial use and large-scale promotion. Moreover, Bayesian system is indeed seamlessly compatible with Windows system version software. In order to solve this problem, the technical team has been working on it overnight, just to decipher the time machine simulator code. John knew very well that the biggest threat to Microsoft was not the all-Chinese assembly system, but the time machine simulator. Without the simulator, the rise of Bayesian system will be much slower. In the domestic market, Microsoft may be losing ground, but in overseas markets, Microsoft is absolutely confident that it can overwhelm Bayesian systems. But with the time machine simulator, things are different. The moat that Microsoft spent decades building was completely broken through by Bayesian system overnight. The time machine simulator has become a poisonous nail in the heart of Microsoft. However, a week later, Microsoft's technical team still could not decipher the outer encryption shell of the emulator, because they were surprised to find that the emulator's encryption shell used a disordered array encryption algorithm. What did you say? Unordered array encryption algorithm. John's eyes were red. He grabbed the head of the technical department by the collar and angrily shouted, "Then decipher this damn encryption algorithm for me." The head of the technical department shook his head in frustration. "I am sorry, boss. Bayesian Technology's encryption technology far exceeds ours. According to our calculations, it will take more than 10 years to decipher this encryption algorithm, even with IBM's Ocean Blue supercomputer exclamation mark. What is even more frustrating is that this algorithm automatically changes the encryption sequence every once in a while, which also means that the calculation needs to be started from scratch. Because it is a disordered array, no one knows what the next encryption sequence will be. It may take 10 years or even more before a second identical encryption sequence appears. So except for the developers of the encryption algorithm, no one knows what the core password of the algorithm is. And since we cannot decipher the disordered array, we cannot even talk about deciphering the simulator algorithm inside. I am sorry, boss. We have tried our best." John's vision suddenly went dark, and the surrounding scenery became blurry. Will Microsoft become the second Yahoo? Boss. John's sudden fainting immediately caused everyone present to scramble and call an ambulance. And this matter quickly spread throughout the Longuo Microsoft headquarters, and well-informed reporters got the news immediately. Microsoft executives fainted on the spot because of him. United States, Microsoft Corporation headquarters. After John fainted, the news was reported to the public at all levels. Gaethje, who had just fallen asleep not long ago, was urgently awakened by the nanny and held a meeting at the company headquarters overnight to discuss how to respond. Gaethje's face was serious. Although he had already resigned from the company's management, it did not mean that he had lost control. In front of Gaethje, the head of the technical department also looked frustrated and came to the same conclusion. Unordered array encryption algorithm cannot be cracked! As the richest man with a technical background, Gaethje is naturally aware of the value of this encryption algorithm, which means that Microsoft will not be able to rely on cracking methods to attack the Bayesian system and strangle it in the cradle. Because not only the shell of the time machine simulator has this encryption algorithm, but also many key modules of the Bayesian system use this encryption algorithm. If Bayesian technology had not taken the initiative to revoke the encryption of some modules to allow other institutions to conduct reverse compilation code tests to verify whether the Bayesian system used relevant codes from other systems, they would not even be able to break into these modules. Not just Microsoft, but all the giants who are paying attention to Bayesian technology have discovered this shocking fact. Fruit, Google, IBM, Bespoke Inscriptions. All companies that have tried to crack the time machine simulator have failed. The disordered array encryption algorithm stands in front of everyone like the towering Himalayas. Unbreakable. The report on the disordered array encryption algorithm has even been placed on the table of the United States Intelligence Agency. The importance of this encryption algorithm has exceeded ordinary people's imagination. Even the encryption algorithms of the Intelligence Department have not reached this level. According to the news, this disordered array encryption algorithm and simulator algorithm were all independently developed by Luo Yang. This young and famous genius has amazing talent in this area. In a comprehensive evaluation by the United States Intelligence Agency, Luo Yang's talent in computers has been placed on the same level as the world's top hacker, Kaiwan Mitnick. There is a sentence at the end of this report that is placed on the desk of the intelligence agency. This is a supercomputer genius, but he does not belong to the United States. Facing the menacing Bayesian system, Microsoft was obviously blindsided and did not know how to resist. In the end, Gaethje, as the founder, made the decision decisively. First, make an all-out bid to acquire Bayesian system. As long as we can acquire Bayesian system from Luo Yang, then Microsoft's status will still be unchallenged! Second, if Bayesian technology refuses to sell the system, then as long as Bayesian technology opens the financing window, it will invest in Beichin technology at all costs. Third, if the first two fail, I will personally visit Congress and prepare to impose sanctions on Beichin technology. Although we are mentally prepared to give up on the Longguo market due to the ban, but for overseas markets, we must not give in even a step! Beichin's system will never let him leave the Dragon Kingdom. The world's operating systems can only be controlled by Microsoft. As a big boss who has gone through ups and downs, Gaizi's appearance immediately stabilized the morale of the army. And Microsoft, which has adjusted its rhythm, has also revealed its sharp fangs and is preparing to launch a strong counterattack against Beichin technology. The Battle of Tianwang Mountain for computer operating systems is inevitable. So Luoyang was a little surprised when he heard Lin Ya's report. You said that Microsoft offered $5 billion to fully acquire all the technology and related patents of Beichin system? Yes, George, the deputy director of Microsoft's Longguo headquarters, contacted us privately this morning. Why is it that George, the deputy director, came forward, but where is the new director, John? I heard that I was hospitalized due to a sudden cerebral hemorrhage after staying up late for a week. Lin Ya shrugged and said that she was also surprised. Luoyang was filled with admiration. Are there such dedicated people in the United States? Then just refuse, and remember to tell Mr. George said that the Beichin system is not for sale by our company. God is not for sale. Lin Ya couldn't help but roll her eyes, saying that Luoyang's cold joke was not funny at all. Do not think she does not understand football. Those football clubs that have stars keep saying that their stars are not for sale, and then turn around and sell the stars. For wealthy clubs waving a lot of money, the so-called not for sale actually means 3 words. You have to pay more. All kidding aside, Luoyang has never considered selling the Beichin system. But if Microsoft is willing to use half of its net worth in exchange for it, it is still possible. After all, it is $900 billion. Of course, this was the price before the Beichin system was released. It has now fallen to the price of $15,000. After reaching this price, it no longer fell, but rebounded. First of all, because the market panic has passed, unless Beichin technology can grab half of Microsoft's users, Microsoft will still be the world-class giant. The second reason is Microsoft's self-rescue. At the same time, Wall Street cannot just sit back and watch Microsoft collapse. Therefore, after the short sellers who were shorting Microsoft got out in time, Microsoft's stock price has stabilized. According to the market research report, the market of Dragon Kingdom alone is no less than 500 million computers. This is the data from a few years ago. Now Dragon Kingdom's economy continues to take off. Last year, the number of smartphone users reached 1.3 billion. As for the latest number of computer users in Longguo, apart from Microsoft and the telecommunications industry, it is estimated that not many companies can have specific data. However, according to Luoyang's speculation, the latest data should be no less than 700 million units, accounting for almost half of Microsoft's 1.5 billion users. Assuming that half of these 700 million users have switched to the regular version of Beichin system, that is a huge pre-tax income of $104.6 billion, equivalent to $15.8 billion. This alone is enough to make Beichin technology a fat man. Faced with Microsoft's $5 billion offer, it's no wonder Luoyang looked down upon it. Faced with an acquisition price of $5 billion, Beichin technology actually refused? This is impossible. Faced with Beichin technology's refusal to sell the operating system, George was a little surprised. But thinking of the supervisor John, who had just fainted not long ago, he was very keen on the position of this supervisor and decided to increase the acquisition price again, this time raising the offer to acquire Beichin Systems to $10 billion. This time, Luoyang thought for 3 seconds and then continued to refuse. Beichin System is not for sale of the company. What the heck? Are all these Dragon Country people so rich? They do not even want to sell for $10 billion. George went a little crazy. The instruction given to him by the United States headquarters and Gaizi was to acquire Beichin System at all costs, and a maximum limit of $50 billion was given. but George felt that a mere Bayesian system was not worth that much money. In his opinion, it would only take up to $5 billion to satisfy Luo Yang and pack up the Bayesian system. However, it turns out that there is a reason why some people can only be deputy supervisors throughout their lives. After being rejected by the United States' $10 billion bid, George suspended the bid. He felt that Bayesian technology was fishing to lure him to, quote, a higher price. So he decided to let Bayesian technology calm down for a while and then drove to the golf course. It is not for sale. Obviously, faced with the not-for-sale stimulation from Bayesian technology, George has gone crazy. As for the acquisition at all costs instruction from Guy C, he had already forgotten it. This morning, Luo Yang was having breakfast at the breakfast shop downstairs when he heard the person next to him say something mysterious. "Old Liu, do you know about Bayesian technology, which is very popular recently? You know Sa, the domestic light of our dragon kingdom." The middle-aged man with a big belly looked around and whispered, "Do you know how much this company is worth now?" "I really do not know about this. It should be hundreds of millions, right?" Old Liu, who is also nearly middle-aged, stepped on his slippers, took a bite of xiaomai and mumbled, "I am scared to death if I tell you. I saw on the news that Microsoft wanted to acquire it for $2 billion. Pfft! Cough, cough." Luo Yang, who had been eavesdropping with his ears pricked up, spat out a mouthful of hot porridge. "Oh my god, $2 billion! Sorry. Luo Yang quickly apologized to the diners around him. Fortunately, he did not spray directly on anyone. But he did not plan to continue having breakfast. If he continued, he did not know what more exciting news the two uncles could tell. Just scan the QR code, pay and leave. The payment package has arrived, 20 yuan. Under the shade of the trees in the morning, Luo Yang strolled slowly, scanning his surroundings while digesting. Shanghai Science and Technology Park has a large area and good greening. Buildings of different heights are scattered around. What Bayesian technology is leasing is a 4-story office building. It was newly built in recent years. It has a unique shape. The overall office area reaches 2,400 square meters. The monthly rent is 360,000. Bayesian Technology has rented it for 1 year. "Good morning, mister." "Good morning, Brother Luo." The ladies and security guards at the front desk greeted Luo Yang enthusiastically. The security team is called Mr. Luo, and the ladies at the front desk are called Brother Deluo. As for the employees in the technical department, they are called by various names. Luo Yang has no rules about this, just do what you like. Unlike the top students in the technology department, who mostly come from the computer science department of Fuzhou University, most of the front desk ladies are recruited from outside. They are all very good looking and attract the attention of the singles in the technology department. However, since Bayesian technology became a blockbuster a few days ago, these young ladies looked at Luo Yang differently. How should I describe it? It's like it's about to eat itself. Luo Yang felt uncomfortable with the hot eyes of the young ladies. He did not feel much about his changes, but in the eyes of others, he was already the most popular diamond king in the country. Especially last night, Microsoft's offer to acquire Bayesian systems was unexpectedly exposed, causing a nationwide sensation. Although the specific price has not been disclosed, it has aroused the curiosity of the outside world. Many media have speculated on the price. There are all news about the price ranging from tens of millions to billions, which has also led to the previous embarrassing case of the middle-aged uncle. At the same time, the outside world has also developed strong interest in the valuation of Bayesian technology. Everyone is thinking about one question, that is, how much is Bayesian technology worth now? Bayesian technology has never announced the specific number of installed machines. After all, making a fortune silently is the way to go. Once people learn about Bayesian technology's huge profits, it will inevitably attract jealous people. Although the data is not completely confidential, for example, the number of users who purchased activation codes through Wakes In and payment packages is recorded in the backends of the two giants, and there is a risk of leakage. However, Beijing Technology had already signed a confidentiality agreement when it reached cooperation with the two giants and was not allowed to leak relevant sensitive data. Otherwise, it would pay huge liquidated damages, so there has been no definite news from the outside world. Although there is no exact information on the installed capacity, some third-party non-professional institutions have given Beijing Technology a preliminary valuation of $5 billion after integrating some of the data collected. Of course, this data is not accurate at all. Among other things, Microsoft's purchase price for the operating system alone has reached $10 billion. The so-called Beijing Technology is only worth $5 billion. It is a complete joke. But despite this, the $5 billion valuation caused a huge stir. Everyone knows that Beijing Technology is underestimated. If nothing else, there are no less than 500 million computer users in Longguo. Beijing Technology can reach 1/3 of the size of Microsoft with just these 500 million users. Based on Microsoft's peak market value of $1.8 trillion, Beijing Technology only needs to win these 500 million users, and its overall valuation will already be as high as $600 billion. Of course, this data can only be used as a reference, and at most, it shows the potential of Beijing Technology. No matter what, the only thing that is certain is that Beijing Technology has become a newly emerging unicorn company in Longguo Internet. When Luo Yang arrived at the Chief Executive Officer's office on the 3rd floor, Lin Ya was already waiting for him. Luo Yang's office decoration is relatively simple, mainly in black and white. After all, too fancy decoration will affect the image of Beijing Technology. Lin Ya, on the other hand, was wearing a moon-white suit today, with her long wavy hair hanging on her shoulders. Her gentle and elegant temperament made Luo Yang unable to help but take a few more glances. What's going on today? Luo Yang was referring to the news in the morning. Microsoft's offer to acquire Beijing Systems was done in private. It's unclear what went wrong. I have investigated and found that a foreign employee of Microsoft disclosed the information to reporters and has now been suspended. Luo Yang nodded. He did not want the source of the leak to appear in Beijing Technology. After the news of the acquisition was exposed, other major companies also sent us acquisition offers. I compiled the information and put it on your desk. Let me take a look first. After checking the information carefully, from last night until early this morning, a total of 16 companies issued quotations for Beijing Technology at the same time. The world's largest database software supplier, Beastbones Company, has officially offered to acquire Beijing Technology for $30 billion. Big Blue IDM Company has officially offered to acquire Beijing Technology for $30 billion. The king of search engines, Google Company, has officially offered to acquire Beijing Technology for $40 billion. Sequoia, SoftBank, and Goldman Sachs, three of the world's top investment banks, have jointly quoted $45 billion to fully acquire Beijing Technology. They also require Luo Yang to remain the Chief Technology Officer of Beijing Technology after the acquisition is completed, and he will not be allowed to do so for 10 years. Resign! An official investment institution from a certain desert oil country has offered to fully acquire Beijing Technology for $50 billion without any additional conditions. He is even allowed to continue his own business, as long as he is not engaged in operating system-related industries. A hunting feast for the world's top giants has begun. Cool. After letting out a breath, Luo Yang felt his scalp numb. He was just a programmer in his previous life, and it was only in this life that he began to explore entrepreneurship. At this moment, facing the acquisitions of tens of billions of dollars by many giants, it would be a lie to say that you are not shocked. Luo Yang calculated in his mind. The current highest offer is $50 billion. Excluding stock pool options, I currently hold 94% of the shares. If the transaction is completed, I will receive up to $47 billion in pre-tax income. Even if the 20% transaction tax is deducted, it is still $37.6 billion. equivalent to 248.1 billion yuan at the real-time exchange rate!